Guys, I love vintage over modern. From my watches, to my cars, to my women. Now, I'm only kidding, guys, about that last one. But seriously, guys, I'm an advocate for vintage timepieces. In today's video, I'm gonna let you guys know 4 reasons why I prefer vintage watches. So, before we get into this video, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'm hoping by this time next year that I'm at 50,000 subscribers or more. So let's get to that point and let's go. So guys, the first reason why I choose vintage over modern is the community. Whenever I see someone wearing a vintage timepiece, my first thought is that, wow, nice watch. This person is passionate and knowledgeable on timepieces. But when I see someone wearing a modern timepiece, my initial thought is, wow, cool watch. But let me approach he or she and ask, hey, what's the reference number on that timepiece?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
What is Colorado Rockies?
No.
Bitch, what? Oh my God.
There's a 50% chance that person would not know the reference number or would struggle to tell me. It's just basic knowledge, guys, to know the reference number on your timepiece, to know the caliber, to know how many jewels. It's just simple things like that modern timepiece wearers don't know.
He ain't lying.
Guys, before I get into the second reason why I prefer vintage, recently I confirmed that my Omega Constellation 168.005 with the pipe hand dial and the dogleg lugs is a Gerald Genta design timepiece. So it was a moment where I was proud, I was happy that my timepiece can sit side by side with the Rolex King Midas, the Patek Philippe Nautilus, and the AP Royal Oak. Now for the second reason why I love vintage over modern. And it's because it's a work of art. It's a piece of art. Yes, a modern timepiece is a work of art, but the vintage timepiece has a touch of nature when it comes to the aging of the timepiece. From the dial, to the bezel, to even the metal. Guys, if you haven't seen some vintage 18 karat gold timepieces, you're missing out. Like this vintage Daytona 16528. It's just beautiful. There's just a difference between a vintage gold timepiece and a modern gold timepiece. The vintage timepiece is classy rich, when the modern timepiece gives a hint of tacky rich, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Patina is just something you can't get with these modern timepieces. Sure, they launched some patina, I think that's what they call it when it comes to fake patina, but guys, it's just not the same. And one thing I think about sometimes is that these modern timepieces, the materials that they're made out of, who knows how they're gonna age and whether or not they're gonna age, period. Because the material that these timepieces are made these days are built to last. Now guys, for the third reason why I prefer vintage, and it's because they are unique. You'll be unique when you wear this timepiece. When you walk into a room with a vintage timepiece, it doesn't even have to be a Rolex. It could be an Omega, it could be a Zodiac, it could be a Wachman. Any vintage timepiece, trust me, you're gonna be the only guy or girl in that room with that timepiece. But guys, let's just take, for example, a Rolex Daytona Panda. You walk into any room, trust me, the next man will have that timepiece on his wrist or even her wrist. You go into any restaurant in Miami with any hype piece, let's say a Rolex Pepsi or a Hulk, a Sub, trust me, about 5 other people will have the same timepiece on their wrist. So if you want to be unique, guys, go towards vintage timepieces. Now for my fourth and final reason why I prefer vintage, and is the price. Yes, some vintage timepieces are pretty high, but I believe that they are truly justifiable compared to some of their modern counterparts. Because as I mentioned in one of my previous points, is that vintage timepieces are truly unique. Sure, you can have the same vintage reference as someone else in the room as you, but your watch will not look the same if you're wearing vintage. Because the way vintage timepieces age, the things that they go through based on whoever it is that's wearing it is gonna look different, depending on if the owner previously in the past couple of years wore it in humidity, in sun, in a tropical climate, or if they just kept it in a safe. The timepiece will definitely look different, from the dial to the bezel to the actual metal. Yes, it's gonna have some scrapes, but guys, we love scrapes around here. Those are the 4 reasons why, out of a bunch of other reasons, that I love vintage timepieces. Now, I had to only mention 4 because I wanted to make the video, short and concise and in a way that you guys would enjoy. I want you guys to comment down below any reason why you prefer vintage, or if you prefer modern, comment below and let me know why. Thanks for watching, guys. Give the video a like, hit the subscribe button, and stay tuned for the next video.